Hello everyone, and let's do a book talk for October by Gregory Bastianelli. This was a library book, and I have since returned this one to the library. This would be, well, it was classified as horror, and I would say it's a horror historical fiction, as the time that this is set is 1970. This is a standalone novel. It was published in 2024. When I read this book, there was no audiobook available. It is told in third person and is set in New Hampshire. So we have a couple of different characters that we are listening to the narrator talk about. We have an old man who we do learn is Mortimer. We have Eddie Scruggs, who is a 12-year-old boy. And we have Ryan Woodson, who has a twin named Curtis, and Ryan wants to write horror, like pulp horror. We have Harold Bertram Lathrop, who is in his late 70s and is an ex-author. Ryan Woodson looks up to Harold, and Harold is trying to discourage him from writing certain topics, like specifically in the horror, pulp horror genre. And we also have a couple of other people that pop up, but we don't really follow a lot of stuff. We don't follow anyone's perspective. It's all from the narrator. As this is told in third person, it's told with a narrator saying, he did this, she did this, he said, she said. So this book, the title of it is, as I had said, is October, and the book is set between October 1st and October 31st. So it takes place over the whole month of October in 1970. So we're opening up where Mortimer gets off of the train, and Ryan sees it. He would be considered more lower class with where he lives. We do get some scenes of him with some friends, and scenes from other people as well, obviously with it told in third person. Since Mortimer has arrived, Ryan thinks that strange things that are starting to happen in the town are Mortimer's fault. Mortimer is there looking for a family member who has been lost for years, and you do find out more about that. I'm not going to go into who this family member is, what caused them to be lost, things like that, because there are little hints throughout the book. It does get explained, but I would say they can be considered spoilers. Magic is a part of this book, so there is a little bit of magical element to this. I would not say it is fantasy. I would say this is, as far as the magic goes, it's more like occult type magic, someone claiming to be a magician, being able to pull things out of a hat that aren't in the hat, not by optical illusion or sleight of hand, but actually being able to reach into the depths of the hat to the other side of to the other world, quote unquote, and pull something out. So kind of like deal with the devil to have magic type of a situation. This book was 373 pages, and things start to go weird. Some people start to notice that some pumpkins, there's a lot of emphasis on the pumpkins. Some of these pumpkins have black spots, like they're rotten. And there's one kid that tries to warn another kid about the pumpkins, saying there's something in the pumpkins. And kids start to go missing, and you don't know what's causing this. You have scenes where someone is like on a date and they're hearing strange noises. Sorry, I'm trying to edit another video while I talk about this book. They're starting to hear some strange noises. For one thing, like Ryan sleeps in a bunk bed, and he starts to hear things that he shouldn't be hearing on the top bunk. He sleeps on the bottom bunk. There should be no sounds coming from the top bunk, but he's starting to hear some creaking. Sometimes he does have a dog that comes in, and the dog will kind of hone in on that top bunk. So you're just following as Ryan and this group of friends that he has are trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Their friends are going missing. Their friends are going missing. people that they don't know are going missing, and something is just, there's just a strange vibe. They're thinking, like, they'll look at like something like a scarecrow or a skeleton and they'll see it move different. There's this one scene that's going on with a town scavenger hunt. So they go and do like a grave rubbing, and something on the rubbing changes, but then it changes to something else. So it's like things that are written either that were never there appear, or things that were written disappear, or things that were written change completely. So there are just certain things that are causing people to get a little freaked out. Mostly this group of kids. The parents are just chalking it up mostly to kids being kids, playing pranks, running away, things like that. And so that is the book. It's this group of friends trying to figure out what's going on to stop this evil that they think is actually there. They do think there is some evil entity connected to Mortimer, and they are trying to figure out what they can do to stop this, to stop their friends from going missing, to stop their nightmares and things like that. And that is the book. So what is the representation that you have in this? You have someone mentioned that is black. You do have someone that is overweight, but that is also a content warning in this one. But you do have an overweight character, or a plus size character. And you do get the narrator talking about things that she is doing as well. You have LGBT, as far as it's not one of the actual characters of the story, but this group of friends go to a movie theater. They sneak into basically an R-rated movie at that time and watch. It's a vampire movie, perfect for October. So they sneak into the movie theater and watch this vampire movie, and there are scenes between a female and a female biting each other and other stuff. It does not get explicit, but you know that basically the two women are having sex basically in the movie, and these kids are seeing it. That is the extent of the LGBT rep that you know of in this. Obviously, with it being in the 1970s, things were kept much more hush-hush, so it would be up to your imagination if any of the characters have any sort of LGBT, as far as, you know, gay, anything like that. But, so that's the extent of that. You have, as far as so that's your representation. That's all that I could find as far as the representation. For your content and your trigger warnings, it's a horror. So you do have a couple of things. You have animal death. You do have gore, and I would say it's more on the lighter side. It's not particularly heavy. So I would say it's more mild, more light. You have cancer mentioned, as I had said in with the part of it. You have children going missing. You have a suicide attempt depicted on screen or on page. You have the death of a child described on page. You have a situation with parental abandonment. You have a child being held hostage. You have fat phobia. You have death of a parent. You have death of a sibling. You have where there's a situation where someone hates a particular pet due to a situation that has happened, and I can understand it. It was sad to see the hatred towards this family pet, but you could understand where the person with this hatred doesn't want anything to do with this pet. You can understand where their feelings are coming from. And yeah, that's your content and your trigger warnings. So in case you are still on the fence with this, let me tell you about the words that were used in this book. You have the following words that come up. Now again, my edition from the library was 373 pages. You have the following words: boob 5 times, piss 6, hell 37, breast 17, the word God 17, not in religious context, screw 3, asshole 2, the name Christ 8 times, not in religious context, damn 20, hard ass once, erect once, erection once, hobo 10, and that, again, that could be a content warning. I do know that could be a content warning for people. And I do remember even like growing up in the like 80s and 90s, hobo was used for homeless person. or what do they use now? Displaced person, something like that. I don't remember. Anyway, continuing on, we have shit 17 times, damnation once, bastard 4, molest once, wise ass once, balls once, the name Jesus 5 times, not in religious context, the word God 1 time used in religious context, necking once, hoochie coochie once, bitch twice, tits once, fuck twice, ass once, and prick once. So the language for a horror was very tame, in my opinion. I have read horror books where it's much more rough with the language, but that was fine. And that was the book. Now, let me pull up on Goodreads. I'm going to pull up this book and see if there's an author bio that I can read to you. So this author, I do know, I have read another book by this author. And I will say I enjoyed this book more than the other one. But personally, I gave this one a 3 stars. I think it just kind of towed the line. I would have liked it to be more paranormal, more gore, more, I just felt like it just didn't quite go there, but that's my own personal opinion. I would have liked to have been darker and more gruesome. That's my own personal opinion. Okay, so Gregory Bastianelli, a New Hampshire native, graduated from the University of New Hampshire, where he studied writing under instructors Mark Smith, Thomas Williams, and Theodore Wessner. He worked for nearly 2 decades at a small daily newspaper where the highlights of his career were interviewing shock rocker Alice Cooper and B-movie icon Bruce Campbell. He is the author of novels Joker's Club, Loonies, Snowball, Shadow Flicker, that's the one that I read, and October. His pulp horror novella Liar of the Mole People appears in the anthology Men of Mystery Volume 2. He lives in New Hampshire. So that's all that one says on Goodreads. And that is the book. So let me know, have you read anything else by Gregory Bastianelli? So again, I did read Shadow Flicker. I enjoyed October more than Shadow Flicker. Okay? And so I'm hoping, I'm not saying I'm not going to pick this author's work up anymore. I am definitely interested. There are some other books this author's written that do sound very intriguing to me, so I'm hoping they'll be more up my alley. So I will definitely be picking up some more of this author's work. And let me know if you have read any of Gregory's books. Did you like them? Did you not? If you did, what was your favorite book? Or is this author's writing not for you? And there is no shame in that. Not every author is for every reader. And yeah, let me know your thoughts. Talk to me in the comment section below. And until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book. And I will talk to you later.